Following several urgent manhunts underway across the nation right now. One is in Massachusetts. State police are looking for this man, Aaron Pennington. He's a father of four. Police say he killed his wife in their home on Sunday. His kids were able to get away, go to a nearby neighbor's house. Law enforcement say he is considered armed and dangerous. Anyone that thinks they see him should not engage. Call 911 immediately. Again, that's Massachusetts. In Tennessee, authorities are on the hunt for this man, the estranged son of the Nashville police chief. John Drake Jr. is accused of shooting two officers. Both were wounded. They're expected to be okay. The suspect's mother is now urging Drake to turn himself in. A little further south, four men are on the run after escaping a jail in Georgia. Yes, once again, a jailbreak. U.S. Marshals received a tip about someone that might know where they are, but were greeted with gunfire when they went to investigate. The inmates were not found, but law enforcement did find an alleged murderer instead. And there's now a $73,000 reward for information leading to the capture of those four inmates. And then hundreds of miles across the country, Maryland investigators are now 6 days into the search for Pedro Argote. He is suspected of gunning down a circuit court judge hours after awarding custody of his children to his wife. Here now to talk more about each of these cases, each one different, former U.S. Marshal John Muffler. Thank you for your time. Let's start with the case involving the judge. It's been 6 days since this man was on the run. He has potential ties in 4 different states. What are you hearing about the search and the complexities of trying to locate him?
Yeah, I think that law enforcement is having a difficult time on this one. He's had a good head start after the assassination of the judge. They found his car in Western Maryland, which is very close by Route 81, which goes north and south through the country. He could easily be in Canada. I don't know if he's dual passported, but he's certainly had a head start. And, they're looking at all the investigative leads that can connect him from his cell phone to laptop usage. So, they're working it, but he's had a pretty good jump on them.
And in this case, particularly, his ex-wife and his kids must be put in some sort of protective custody until he's caught.
Yeah, absolutely. He has nothing to lose at this point. He is obviously armed and he's obviously dangerous, and she would be the next target, if not the kids also. She should be, have not confirmed that, but she should be in protective custody because of that dangerous risk.
Based on what I've read, I do believe that they are. The threat is just too great. We have seen an uptick in threats and even attacks like this one on judges that they may require the same sort of protection that some politicians even get. In this case, another tragic example of that.
Yeah, I mean, it's too easy. Argote had a year to plan. Divorce cases don't happen overnight. He had a year to plan this. He probably saw it wasn't going to go his way, and he planned in advance where to park that car in Western Maryland and take off from there. So he had time. And a lot of judges across the country, they feel this. Well, they're all feeling this case, right? And every time a judge is attacked or a family member of a judge is attacked, they feel it across the country. So there is an uptick. We see that with the Marshal Service data and those states that do collect data in this regards. We see this as rarely ever does it go down. It's usually ticking upwards, threats to the judiciary.
Yeah, it's scary. Let's talk about this Tennessee case. The son of the Nashville police chief, John Drake Jr., is the suspect in this case, accused of shooting 2 officers. There was some sort of scuffle outside of a Dollar General that led to this. They've now brought his mom in to plead to him to turn himself in. Does that help in these types of cases?
Sometimes. I don't know the relationship with the mother. We saw that with the Pennsylvania fugitive Daniel Cavalcante, with the loudspeakers through the helicopters telling him to turn himself in. So it's hit or miss. It all depends on their relationship. It can be effective, or it may not be the best idea. I just don't know that family history.
Right. We know that he's estranged from his father. Real quickly, I talked about the 4 inmates in Georgia who escaped the big county sheriff's office. How likely is it when you've got 4 inmates who get out at the same time that they break apart almost immediately?
Well, they could be teaming up still. We don't know that. And Obviously for them, it might be best to go in their individual directions. I think the big clue is the incident that happened the other day at the apartment. There was a fugitive who was harboring them, and so they're going to be able to collect some good information from that person's cell phone and the data there, and to see who was all there and where they may be at this point. So I think despite that person had tried to commit suicide, shot himself in the head when the officers came in to execute the warrant, there's still going to be information to be gained from that location.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.